I built a company that now employs more than 800 people. My name is carved into a glass building downtown. There's a conference room with my portrait hanging on the wall. They call me a visionary, a self-made man, a success story. But if you ask me what it cost, I will tell you it cost me my son. I am 78 years old now. My hands shake when I hold my morning coffee. The office I once ruled feels smaller every time I visit, and the house I worked so hard to pay for feels far too large for one person. Success is a strange thing. It looks powerful in photographs. It sounds impressive in introductions. But it is very quiet when you sit alone at night. When my son was born, I remember holding him in the hospital and making a promise. I would give him everything I never had: stability, security, opportunity. I grew up poor. I knew what it felt like to worry about bills, to watch my father come home defeated. I swore my son would never see that version of me. So I worked, not occasionally, not moderately, relentlessly. In the early years of the company, I convinced myself it was temporary. Just 5 hard years, I told my wife. 5 years of sacrifice. Then I would slow down. But 5 became 10. 10 became 20. There was always another expansion, another investor, another crisis that only I could solve. I missed school plays because of negotiations. I missed birthday dinners because of urgent meetings. I missed bedtime stories because I was drafting contracts under fluorescent lights. I remember one evening clearly. My son was about 8 years old. He had a small soccer match at school. He asked me 3 times that week if I would come. I promised him I would try. That word "try" was my shield. It protected me from guilt. That afternoon, a potential client requested a last-minute presentation. It could change everything, my assistant said. I looked at the clock. I looked at the slides. And I told myself, there will be other games. When I got home that night, the house was quiet. My son was already asleep. On the kitchen table was a small participation trophy. Plastic. Cheap. Beside it was a drawing he had made of the field. Stick figures, one taller than the others. Labeled Dad. But the taller figure was drawn outside the field, far from the rest. I don't know if he meant it that way, but I never forgot it. As the company grew, so did the distance between us. Not suddenly, not violently, just gradually. Conversations became shorter. His stories became quieter. By the time he was a teenager, he stopped asking if I would attend his events. He had already learned the answer. I told myself I was doing it for him. Every late night, every canceled vacation, every exhausted Sunday. I believed money could substitute for presence. I believed providing was the same as parenting. The world rewarded me for that belief. Promotions came. Awards came. Applause came. But my son's laughter at the dinner table became rarer each year. The day I became CEO, the board members stood and clapped. Cameras flashed. I shook hands and felt invincible. That same evening, my wife told me our son had decided to study abroad. He didn't think you'd have time to talk about it, she said gently. I nodded, pretending to understand. But something inside me shifted. Not enough to change, just enough to feel. Years later, when he moved to another country permanently, I congratulated him on the phone. The line was clear, but the silence between our words was not. We spoke like 2 polite professionals. Careful, controlled, distant. I realized then that I had built an empire with open doors for strangers and closed doors at home. Now I walk past the framed certificates in my hallway, and they no longer feel like achievements. They feel like timestamps, proof of where I was and where I wasn't. I don't remember most of the deals I fought so hard to close, but I remember the empty seat beside my wife at school functions. I remember the look in my son's eyes when he stopped expecting me. If I could go back, I would attend the soccer game. I would leave the meeting early. I would choose the smaller contract and the bigger moment. Because companies can survive your absence, childhood cannot. I thought I was building a legacy, but a legacy without connection is just a building with your name on it. And buildings don't visit you when you're old. They don't call on Sundays. They don't forgive you for being busy. I gave 40 years to a company, and somewhere in those 40 years, I slowly lost my son. And the hardest part is this: I didn't even notice when it happened. Thank you for listening.